Here's all change at the top of the EU this weekend. Donald Tusk's 5 years as head of the European Council are drawing to a close. He's being replaced by the former Belgian Prime Minister, Michel. It's a difficult time for the EU, with the shadow of Brexit on the horizon, as well as existing crises involving migration and climate change. The other major change was Jean-Claude Juncker replaced by Ursula Von Der Leyen as head of the European Commission. She managed to get her Commission team approved by the European Parliament earlier this week. Well, for more on this changing of the guard, we're going to go live now to Brussels to speak to our correspondent, Jack Parrick. Morning to you, Jack. The last 5 years have been slightly rocky at times. We've had sort of the Grexit situation, Brexit. What are the things that really will mark the last 5 years?
Good morning, Rosie. Indeed, it has been a very busy and significant 5 years for the European Union, where it's obviously been rocked by the vote by its first ever member, the UK, to leave the bloc back in 2016. The EU leaders, Jean-Claude Juncker himself, says that that's one of his biggest regrets, that they didn't do more during that Brexit campaign. But they do also say, and Jean-Claude Juncker has highlighted this over the last few months, that they were very happy to have been able to keep Greece within the euro during the Greek bailout negotiations and the difficulties surrounding that. There was also MH17, the sort of rising tensions with Russia, seeing the US President Donald Trump come into power in the United States and having to deal with his threats of car tariffs. Jean-Claude Juncker himself was seen as sort of personally solving that and preventing the White House from putting tariffs on European car exports into the United States. Today we have a handing over ceremony between Donald Tusk and Charles Michel. They will do a little ceremony, and also Jean-Claude Juncker is going to give his final ever press conference in the Berlaymont building. And you can expect a very, very packed press room. All the journalists are likely to want to attend that. Jean-Claude Juncker, we've seen over the years, kissing people's foreheads, flicking people's hairs. So anytime he sort of comes out, everybody wants to take a look. And there will be some look at whether the new politicians that are taking over, Charles Michel and Von der Leyen, will have that kind of personality.
Von der Leyen and Michel, what are going to be their key priorities and things they've got to tackle sitting in their in-tray as that starts Monday morning?
Well, no doubt Brexit will be the first thing that they have to deal with. The UK election on the 12th of December coincides with their first European Council summit as presidents. Now, Charles Michel has been a well-known figure around here. He's been the Belgian Prime Minister until very recently. Take a look at what he was all about.
New job, same country. Charles Michel today walks into his new life as president of this Brussels landmark, the European Council.
I am conscious of this huge responsibility, and of course I will do my best to fulfill this task.
His task? Ensuring unity around the table where the EU's most powerful men and women gather to thrash out the issues of the day. Lucky perhaps then that he has a reputation as a consensus builder, having served as Prime Minister of politically divided Belgium. For Charles Michel, politics is in the blood. The eldest son of a former European Commissioner, he became a councillor at the age of 18 and a regional government minister at 25. In 2014, his rise to the top of Belgian politics was complete, becoming the country's youngest Prime Minister in almost 200 years. His was a premiership marked by rows over migration. But now, exactly 10 years to the day since Herman Van Rompuy became the first Belgian to sit at the top table of Brussels, Charles Michel becomes the second.
Europe is facing challenges, and in my opinion, these challenges are also opportunities.
For Charles Michel, the biggest test of his consensus-building skills now awaits. Philip Syme, Euronews.